the relationship standard every man needs for 2026. Pay close attention right from the start. Most men don't get into bad relationships because they choose the wrong woman. Let's get that straight. They get into bad relationships because they never actually decide what is acceptable in the first place. They hoped things would work. They waited for potential. They told themselves, you know what, it'll get better. And that's how years disappear. If you want a relationship that actually leads somewhere meaningful, then this is the right video for you. Because today, I'm giving you the relationship standard that most men skip and pay for later. Stephanie here. Welcome to my channel, The Manipulated Mind. I really hope you stay and also look through my library. I've got over 700 videos on this channel that you can watch, and that would hopefully give you some understanding on a relationship situation you may be dealing with. So, this isn't going to be a talk better video. It's not going to be about me saying be emotionally open early and all that other stuff. I'm not going to tell you just to be yourself and hope that everything works out either. This video is going to act as a filter, a framework, a strategy. By the end of this video, you'll know how to tell whether a relationship is building or whether you're slowly choosing confusion, stress, and maybe even resentment. Let's begin. First standard. Standard number 1. Effort has to be mutual. I want you to understand that in the beginning of relationships, effort is information. Who starts things? Who follows up? Who changes? Who disappears and comes back like nothing happened? That is all data. Information that you need to collect quickly and not miss. If you're the one always texting first, always planning, always fixing problems, always excusing her inconsistencies, I'm sorry to say, but you're not building attraction. You're teaching her how little effort is needed to keep you. A woman doesn't suddenly become more interested because you tried harder. Get this, she becomes more interested when she has to meet you halfway. And here's the mistake. Men see low effort early and tell themselves, oh, maybe she's busy, she's guarded, she just needs time. No, what she needs is to step up or step away for someone who will, because effort that isn't mutual in the beginning almost never becomes mutual later. It becomes the normal thing, and then months later you become exhausted, resentful, and confused about how you ended up in this kind of terrible relationship. Effort doesn't mean doing a lot. It does mean reciprocity. You don't need her to chase you. You need her to respond, invest, and participate without being handled. I'll give you a simple test. If you pull back slightly, just slightly, what happens? Does she lean in? Does she ask questions? Does she close the space between you? Or does everything stop? If everything stops, that's not chemistry slowing down. It's clarity arriving. What do you think about this first standard? Comment below with your views before we proceed, and make sure you watch the entire video for all the crucial insights. And here's the part I want you to understand. Walking away from little effort early is not being impatient, it's being self-respecting, right? The men who finish in strong, peaceful relationships are not the ones who stay in bad dynamics. They're the ones who refuse to audition. Yep. Refuse to audition for women who aren't meeting them halfway, and that's the standard. Standard 2. Emotional access is not free. You meet a woman, there's chemistry, she's pretty interesting, and before you even know what's happening, you start giving her the best side of you, the best parts of you, your attention, your time, emotional depth, your consistency, and you call that love. But what it really is early access. And now, early access is a risky thing because emotional access is not a present that you hand out just because you like her. It should be a privilege that gets opened when someone proves that they can deal with it, okay? You see, a lot of women don't pull away because you're too emotional. They pull away because you gave them the boyfriend treatment before they actually earned the girlfriend role. I can't say this enough. You didn't build trust first. You skipped the checking stage, and now you're paying a high price. If she can get your vulnerability before she shows consistency, she doesn't have to earn you. She just has to keep you emotionally involved, and that's the trap. Now, listen carefully. I'm not saying be cold, I'm saying be careful. Because when you give emotional access too early, one of two things occurs. Scenario A, she respects you less, but not because emotions are weak, but because you're showing depth without asking for any proof of character. To some women, that feels like, oh, he's already in, I don't have to work for him. Get it? Scenario B, she uses it later during an argument or a tense moment, right? Things like, oh, you're insecure, you're too sensitive, this is why you have problems. Suddenly, the thing you shared in trust becomes a tool used during a conflict. Now, men think vulnerability builds closeness, and it can, but only when the person is emotionally grown enough to hold on to it. So here's the standard. Before she gets full emotional access to you, she has to show 3 things. Number 1, consistency. Does she act the same way over time, or does she go between hot and cold? Consistency is not about texting speed, it's about reliability. 2, respect for your time. Does she confirm plans? Does she follow through? Talk like an adult? Or does she treat your time like it's not important? 3, emotional control. Can she handle small disagreements without turning it into chaos, punishment, and drama? Because if she can't control herself, she will not control a relationship. Got a different take on emotional access? Share your opinion in the comments, and don't forget to like this part and subscribe to The Manipulated Mind for more. Now, here's the strategy part. You don't declare this standard, you apply it with pacing. You keep your emotional depth on a slow give. What I'm trying to say is you share a little, then see what she does with the details you give her, okay? You don't explain too much when she's inconsistent. You don't rush closeness just because you're excited. You don't turn her into your comfort zone before she's shown that she's actually safe, truthfully. Some men say, oh, but I want a committed relationship. And I get it, and that's good. If you do, though, act like a man who's picking and not begging. Because if you want a meaningful relationship, you should want a woman who earns access, appreciates it, protects it, and gives it back. Not a woman who takes it, enjoys it, and then gets unsure when things get serious. Do you know what I mean? If you've ever opened up to a woman too early and felt bad later, comment the word access. I want to see how frequent this really is. Standard number 3, peace is the foundation, not the reward. If a relationship feels emotionally chaotic in the beginning, that's not strong feeling or excitement, and it's definitely not just how relationships are. That's your nervous system noticing instability. Because a healthy relationship does not start with confusion or worry. It doesn't start with you constantly asking where you stand in her life. Peace is not something you earn by getting better, more patient, or kind. Peace, if you ask me, is a starting requirement. And if it's missing early in the relationship, it won't suddenly appear later once you begin to prove yourself. Here's what men usually do, okay? They tell themselves, oh, she's just emotional, she's been hurt before, she needs comfort. Now, what you're often dealing with is emotional unpredictability, and your body knows it long before your mind believes it. Now, let's talk about what peace actually looks like, because men sometimes mix up peace with boredom. Peace looks like conversations that don't leave you rethinking them in your head, disagreements that don't turn into punishment, emotional expression without wild changes, silence that doesn't feel scary. Peace does not mean lack of attraction, it means lack of emotional threat. Because you see, if you're walking on eggshells early, you'll exist on them later. Men often think, once we're a couple, things will calm down. It won't. Commitment doesn't calm chaos, it makes it bigger. Ask yourself this question, and don't answer it emotionally, please. Do you feel more steady after interacting with her, or more unsteady? Do you leave conversations feeling calm or slightly unstable? Because attraction that shakes you is not attraction worth chasing. You see, some women create strong emotional highs without giving you a sense of calm or safety. Being around them feels exciting, it feels full of energy, it feels like a habit. You're thinking about them a lot. Your emotions are up and down. You know, nothing feels calm. And sometimes that strength can feel like chemistry. But here's the price. Instead of feeling connected, you start feeling thankful when things are good again. You're not enjoying the relationship, you're healing from it. So your brain stops looking for closeness and starts looking for relief. Relief when she texts back. Relief when she's in a good mood. Relief when there's no stress. That's not love or connection. That's your nervous system trying to settle itself down. Over time, you stop asking, do I feel safe and understood with her? And you start asking, how do I get back to feeling okay? And that's a trap. That's how men end up craving the highs and destroyed by the lows. Let me be clear. A woman who is right for a long-term relationship will not need you to handle her emotions constantly. No, she won't. She won't strain your nervous system daily. She won't make peace something that you have to earn. You see, you don't need someone who keeps things interesting. You need someone who keeps things steady. Steadiness is not boring. Unsteadiness, on the other hand, can be very tiring. Here's the standard. If a relationship consistently breaks your peace in the early stages, that's not a test to overcome. It's a warning to pay attention to. Does peace as a baseline make sense to you? Share your personal views in the comments below, and remember to watch until the very end for the complete picture. A like and subscribe to Stephanie on the Manipulated Mind helps so much. Standard 4. Respect comes before love. Most men are learned the incorrect order. They're learned, if she loves you, she'll respect you. If you prove you care, she'll treat you better. If you stay patient, she'll come around. If you ask me, that's reversed, right? Respect comes first. Love grows within that respect. If respect isn't there early, love doesn't solve that. Love hides it until it can't. Here's how this usually happens. In the beginning, she's warm, loving, interested, but under all that, she pushes your limits, tests how much you'll allow, says things that softly lessen you, right? Disappears and returns without explanation, and instead of you fixing something like that, you ignore it because you don't want to ruin the feeling. That's where respect quietly leaves. Let me be very clear. A woman doesn't need to be mean to be disrespectful. Disrespect often shows up gently. It appears like repeatedly canceling last minute, talking over you, ignoring your point of view, joking at your cost in front of others, not valuing your time, plans, or boundaries. And when you let those times slide early, you're teaching her something key. You're teaching her that access to you doesn't require thought. Here's the part that men find hard. They think upholding respect will make them seem difficult, controlling, or insecure. But the reverse is true. Men who calmly uphold boundaries are easier to respect because they're consistent. Men who overdo it create confusion, not closeness. If you're constantly explaining why something hurt you, you're already losing, my brother, because respect shows up in what doesn't need to be explained. I'll say this clearly. Commitment does not build respect. Marriage does not build respect. Time does not build respect. Respect is set early or it isn't. And the standard is easy. If a woman does not treat you with consistent respect before commitment, she won't suddenly start later on. Standard 5, the relationship has to go somewhere. And this is the correct standard to end on, if you ask me. This is where a lot of men lose the most time because they let the relationship be unclear. Things feel okay, there's chemistry, you talk often, you see each other, and months pass. No goal, no clarity, no forward movement, just activity, motion. The hard truth is, a relationship that isn't moving forward is still moving. It's just moving to no place, and no place is costly. Don't make up reasons in your head like, oh, we're just taking it slow, there's no rush, I don't want to push her, right? There's a gap between patience and avoidance. Patience has purpose, avoidance has justifications. Let's talk about what going somewhere actually indicates. It doesn't mean rushing titles. It doesn't mean forcing schedules that no one's ready for. In fact, it doesn't mean demands. It does, however, mean forward movement. What does forward movement look like? Plans that go past the next hangout, right? Conversations that naturally talk about the future, growing integration into each other's lives, a sense of shared direction, even if the facts aren't locked in. The main point I want you to remember here is a woman who sees you as a long-term choice does not keep you in uncertainty forever. She may move slowly, but she moves transparently. Uncertainty only benefits the person with more options. Understanding benefits the person with standards. If you're scared to ask, hey, where are things going, because maybe you might not like the answer, then you already have your answer. I believe men get trapped because the relationship feels almost right, and almost right is the most risky place to be, because it keeps you emotionally attached without requiring commitment from her. And guess what? Over time, you stop judging the relationship and you start handling it. What I mean, you start lowering your expectations down. You start telling yourself excuses to stay comfortable. That's how men wake up years later realizing they've been faithful to something that never chose them back. Let me say this simply. You're not owed commitment. You are, however, owed clarity. And if clarity repeatedly doesn't arrive, that is clarity. Here's a standard. If a relationship cannot move forward without you forcing, persuading, or waiting forever, it's not a relationship that respects your future. What's your take on these final two standards? Do you agree respect must come first? Let's discuss in the comments. If this video helped you, please share it, give it a like, and subscribe to The Manipulated Mind for more plain talk guidance. My name is Stephanie. I'll see you in the next one. Cheers!